Hello, hey everyone. Happy New Year. I am so happy and grateful to have another year to live and to breathe and to just be our best, aren't you? My name is Melissa P. Dunn. I am the host of the Dunn Wisdom Show. I'm also CEO of MD Marketing and Consulting and a public servant in Lauderhill. But anyways, I am so happy and grateful to be blessed with another year of life, another year to serve and to lead and to enjoy this gift that we have that's called life. I am excited to talk to you tonight. I have made the commitment to come on and do live more regularly. If you'll recall, during the pandemic, I was on live every single day. And the Dunn Wisdom Show has evolved in such a way that we are recording live in studio with Paradise TV and then broadcasting the shows right here on the channel. But I haven't been going live. And I haven't really been doing solo shows. So I decided the one thing that I can do to level up myself is for me to go back to my roots, which is doing lives, teaching a subject that I myself have been a student of. And so today's show, we are going to really talk about leadership. I'm really blessed in that I have the honor and the privilege to not only grow MD Marketing and Consulting into a multi-six-figure agency that's serving clients in Florida, in North Carolina, and in Georgia, but I'm blessed in that I have been chosen. I have been given the gift of serving as a commissioner in Lauderhill. And as such, I've really had the opportunity to hone my leadership skills. And so I'm going to share with you some things that I'm putting in practice to level up my leadership in 2026. And I hope that it really supports you. And I think part of what we get to think about as leaders, particularly as women leaders, is how can we make sure that we are really leaning into our purpose, that we are putting strategies into place that's creating healthy, safe, and prosperous environments, right? And how do we lead in a way where when everything is shifting, the expectations, the technology, the culture, even the quality of the people that you're getting in your teams is shifting as well, right? How can we do that in a way that cultivates trust, that produces result, and really that makes our agency, our community, and our world a better place? So that's kind of my come from tonight. And so today, I want to break down what real leadership success could look like in 2026, not leadership on Instagram, but kingdom-aligned leadership version that actually transforms lives and organizations. Because leadership isn't really just about titles, right? It's about stewardship. It's about serving well. It's about creating impact that outlives you. And so today I'm going to be sharing with you 4 keys to leading well in this year. So the first is vision and purpose, right? And one thing I know for sure is that when you write down your vision and make it plain, then that creates a roadmap for your team to follow suit. That then becomes your North Star, right? And so speaking your vision in a way that's clear, in a way that's intentional, in a way that's purposeful is, I believe, one of the most critical success factor for any leader, whether you're leading in a Fortune 500 environment or you are a startup of one. Being able to articulate your vision and your purpose is really critical. Now, how do you get clear on your own vision, right? I mean, the truth is that if your vision is random, if your vision is vague, then the truth is your results are going to be random and your results are going to be vague, right? And we're not about that life in 2026. Like in 2026, real leadership success starts with some clarity. It just does. And what I do when I want to get clear is, well, first, let me say this, that I am a spirit-led leader. So what that means is that for me in my business, God is the CEO. For me in my public service leadership, I really rely on my faith, right? And so I have this thing where I say that, the vision and the strategy gets to be co-created with God for me, right? And so here are some powerful questions for you to ask. One question is, where are you going? And why does that matter? Who will be called to walk with you, right? Because a God-aligned vision keeps you grounded when challenges come. Like when there's clarity, there's also momentum. When there's purpose, there's perseverance. And so the very first tip I want to share with you is vision and purpose. Define it, get clear about it, submit it to God, or your source, submit it, and then come up with a plan to make it so. But you got to have a vision to make it clear. So here is a leadership in action assignment that I would love for you to do, right? I want you to reaffirm your 2026 vision in writing. Then speak it out loud to your team consistently. You've got to be able to communicate your vision and your purpose to your team, right? I like to share this story with my team that says that, as an organization, as a city, even one could even say as a family, we're all on the same bus, right? And each member of your team is sitting in a seat. You as a CEO of that team, you are in the driver's seat, right? And then hopefully you have a second in command that is a navigator that's sitting next to you. And then each team member, you got to make sure that they're sitting in the right seat, right? Some people belong in the front. Some people belong way, way, way in the back, but you got to make sure your people are sitting in the right seat. And your vision and your purpose then becomes the destination, where you're getting to. It becomes your North Star that guides every decision that you make in the company. So, tip number one, leadership is to make sure that you have a clear vision and purpose. And then the way to put that into action is to reaffirm your 2026 vision in writing, write it down, and then speak it aloud to your team consistently. I would even go as far as to say, if you're in a brick and mortar building, put it up on the wall so that your customers can see it, right? But write it down and make it plain. So, number two, communication and clarity. You heard me mention that word clarity at least 4 times already, and we've only been talking for like less than 9 minutes. Clarity is everything. If you are not giving clear direction, then your results are going to be unclear. Your ROI is going to be non-existent, right? So you've got to be able to speak in a way that people can understand and communicate verbally and in writing in a way that will inspire them to action. because the truth is that we all have different styles. We all have different ways that we like to be communicated with. And it's important for you and your team to have clear agreements about how that's going to look, right? So that's tip number 2 for up-leveling your leadership. Make sure that you communicate that you communicate with clarity, right? People cannot follow what they don't understand, right? And as leaders, it is your job to articulate the expectations clearly, to share the priorities openly, to give feedback consistently, to make sure that people feel heard. And when communication fails, then confusion erupts, right? And when clarity rises, then performance follows. So communicate, communicate, communicate. And another thing around communication, I always say to my clients, we've got to make sure that we have clear agreements. So you and I as team members, I gotta tell you what my expectations are. And then I need to hear back from you that you acknowledge those expectations. And then we agree together on a roadmap, what you're going to do by when, and how we're going to communicate. So you got to work through all of that. And when challenges come, and they will, right? Because that's just the way life is. You got to be willing to have those really challenging conversations, face conflict head on. But do it with ease and grace. Do it with compassion. Do it with, trying to find the win-win instead of trying to find the lose-win, if that makes sense. So we got to make sure that we have clear communication. So let me put that back on the screen again. Communication and clarity. That's tip number 2. Now, how to put that into action. This week, y'all, I want you to ask your team, what's the one thing I can communicate more clearly to help you succeed? Now, this one requires a little bit of humility, right? I know sometimes as leaders, some of us are so caught up in our ego. Some of us are so caught up in our headspace that we are not willing to go to our team members to ask them powerful questions so that they can tell us how we can help them to be successful. So that's your action item. Go to your team member and ask them, what's the one thing I can communicate more clearly to help you to be successful? Now, tip number 3, collaboration and relationships. And this one is a big one, guys. I can tell you that in the world of public service, there is so much competition. Like the way the whole system is set up with elections is just really meant to be a spirit of competition. But I have always felt more aligned with this concept that collaboration is better. Like the Lauderhill Health and Prosperity Partnership, that whole movement is built on collaborative impact. I believe that we can go further faster when we work together, when we find common ground, we find commonalities. And it's the same thing when you're leading in the corporate world, in the business world. You have got to make sure that you find common ground, find ways to collaborate with your team, find ways to collaborate with your clients, so that, you look for the win-win. It's always good when you're able to find the win-win, right? So collaboration and nurturing the relationships that you have. Leadership can be lonely, right? And innovation looks like, and success in leadership in 2026 looks like you creating a culture of teamwork, inviting ideas from every single person on your team and acknowledging it, celebrating wins together when relationships are strong and trust is strong, it becomes easier to navigate and to move forward. And I promise you, you take care of your people will take care of your customers. And when trust is strong, your people bring out their best. So collaboration, communication, that's really important. Now, how do we put that into action? Identify one relationship in your organization that needs strengthening, and then take the first step towards reconciliation. It can be challenging. And I think that this tip works well for your personal life or your professional life. There's always an opportunity to be better in relationships. And this is something that I'm actually cultivating myself. And I'm, not shying away from challenging conversations. But once we've talked once, twice, 3 times, maybe even 4 times, and we have broken agreements and we've cleared the space, then, then it's no surprise when things are not working out, right? So, but anyways, action. Identify one relationship that you get to clean up and work on it. Take the first step. Take the first step. Put your ego to the side and take the first step. I believe in you. I believe in you. You can do it. So that's tip number 3, collaboration and nurturing your relationships. This one goes right back to this idea about creating an environment that is win-win, right? You've got to have compassion and accountability. So when you have really clear agreement, you've communicated the vision, you guys have agreed on the purpose, you've agreed on the strategy, you've agreed on everybody's individual roles and responsibility, you're clear about how you're going to communicate, then you get to hold people accountable. That you got to do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. You can't promise that you're going to deliver something to a client and tell me 2:00, then you don't give it to me, and then I can't give it to my client on time. That just doesn't work, right? But you've got to make sure that those agreements are clear. And if the agreement is clear, right, and you've worked through it and you've come up with corrective action plan, then you've got to hold people accountable. You got to hold people accountable. And when you do, it should not come as a surprise. When you hold them accountable, you're going to hold them accountable to standards that you agreed on together as a team. Does that make sense? You got to hold them accountable. And equally as important, you've got to hold yourself accountable. Because as leaders, the first person that we lead is ourselves. You've got to show up authentically. And you get to be the example that you want your team to follow. And this is particularly important for small business owners, right? When we spend the first couple of months in our business and we're not yet at the point where we can hire staff. But guess what? You've got to lead with your clients. You got to deliver what you say you're going to deliver when you say you're going to deliver it. And you've got to show up in excellence consistently so that by the time you get your first employee, then it's already ingrained in you. You've already started to embody the culture that you're looking to create in your business. It's so important, guys. I can't even begin to tell you how important it is as leaders for you to lead by example, for you to embody the character that you want your team to embody, right? And so those are really the 4 key things. And I promise you, even if you just pick one and follow through, it's going to really make a difference in your leadership in 2026. Because true leadership is really about balance. It's about accountability. And it's about bringing out the best in people, right? And compassion. I didn't talk about compassion, but compassion, let me define that a little bit. Compassion says, I care enough to support you along the way, right? Compassion says, I notice that perhaps, for somebody who used to show up at the office on time, that lately you've been coming in late, like what's happening? Is there something that I can be supportive about? And then giving people the space in order for them to be their whole selves. Because the truth is that people bring their whole selves to work. And so you've got to create the kind of environment that is conducive to people being whole, real, and authentic, right? And then we've got to make sure that we operate in compassion, and that ease and grace works together for the kind of culture that you're looking to create. So again, here is the action item. Let me put it up on the screen for that particular one. Is review your accountability systems and then ask your question, are they rooted in support? Or are they rooted in fear? Right? We're not trying to be right. We're trying to be effective. And we're trying to make sure that we do everything that is going to create the kind of environment that creates a win-win for you, for your customers, and for your team members, as well as your vendors, right? So get clear on what vision. Get clear on your vision. That's number one. Number two, communicate with boldness, communicate with clarity, making sure that every single member up and down your organization is clear about the vision, about the direction that you're heading in. And then I want you to make sure that you're investing in building authentic relationship with your source, authentic relationship with yourself, authentic relationship with your team members, authentic relationship with your vendors. Authenticity, deeply rooted relationships is a really important currency. It's a really important success factor in leadership, right? And then lead with both compassion and accountability, so that real leadership success looks like impact, integrity, influence. You're not just leading for today. You're not just leading for the company that you have now. You're leading for the company that you're looking to create in 10 years, in 20 years. And so be intentional about your leadership. And, you're looking for legacy, right? You're looking to lead with legacy. And so I hope that these tips supported you. And I want to thank you for joining me for this live broadcast. I'm committed to doing at least 17 in a row. That's my challenge. And my opportunity. And so this show is all about leadership meeting with purpose and connecting you to ideas and to people that move the world forward. And so, by the way, I want to invite you. Share this video. All right? Comment, like, subscribe. And then I am hosting the Freedom90 Experience on the 17th of January for women who are looking to level up in their leadership, for faith-based women who are looking to level up in their leadership. It's going to be a day of realignment, a day of reset, a day of recalibrating your leadership. If you're like me, you're so busy pouring into other people. Well, on that day, on the 17th of January, it's going to be me pouring into you and you working with other women so that iron can sharpen iron. So the QR code on the screen up there has you scan it, go to the registration page to learn more. It's freedom90.eventbrite.com. All right. So have a great weekend. Actually, it's not a great weekend. Today's Thursday, but Happy New Year. You can tell that I haven't been live in a while. I'm like fumbling over my words, but thank you. May this year be your best year so far. May God bless you, bless your family. Lots of love, lots of peace, lots of prosperity, and may you really become all that God's calling you to be. Be well, everyone. Take care.